Hello everyone, welcome to the stream. We'll get started here in a few minutes. Hello David, welcome back. Hey Rudy, thanks for joining this stream, I appreciate it. Yeah, Fellar Louvre is... it's easy to miss, it's kind of up there in the Underdark, kind of stuck off in a corner, but it's so very useful in the full version. It was less useful in early access, but it is just so useful in the full version of the game. They've made a lot of changes to the individual items like that, so even things that you might have realized that you knew where they were in early access, you need to take another look at them because they can be quite different in the full version. Okay, we'll go ahead and get ready to get started here. Welcome everyone to today's live stream, episode 11 of our Baldur's Gate 3 Paladin gameplay series. I'm Commander Jorval, and I want to thank you for coming along on our journey today. So, on just a couple of admin notes, I do want to apologize to everyone. I did this in the Bard live stream as well earlier today. I want to apologize. It's been a busy couple of weeks for me between work and the family emergency being out of town and trying to get situated in my now almost finished home here after the repairs. That the past couple of weeks of videos haven't had chapter markers, and some are even missing thumbnails and that sort of stuff. It's not up to the standard of what I said I was going to be giving my community when I started doing this, so I apologize for that. I'm going to spend extra time after we're done today to go back and rework those videos and make sure that they're all finished up and really presentable for everyone who wants to rewatch those and have some chapter markers for the main events that happen throughout them. So again, I apologize for that. I'll get better at it and get it corrected as we go along here. So as far as the rest of the admin notes, we didn't have any issues earlier this morning with the stream and the new electronic setup and everything here in the new area of the house, so I think we should be okay with that, so we can move into a recap. So at the end of last week's episode, we had finished clearing out most of the interior of the Goblin Camp. There are still two areas of the camp that we haven't cleared out, and we're going to go experience both of those today. The first of which is we're going to go into the warg pens and rescue Halsin. And we're going to see how well that goes as we make our way out of the camp. We're going to go clear out the entrance foyer as soon as you come into the Goblin Camp, the main door. We're going to go clear that out. And then we're going to head out through the upper broken passageway into the upper platform and see if we were successful in blocking off the passageways for the goblins to reach us or not. We'll get into that when we load up here, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so here we are, and we are outside of the door leading to the warg pens. So looking at our action economy, we're about halfway down on spells, and we can remove the shapeshift on Shadowheart here. So we're about halfway down on spells.
Let me work my magic.
Yeah, about halfway, give or take. So that should be plenty for us to get down here, rescue Halsin, and then go clear out the other areas here. The encounters with the goblins outside, hopefully, is going to be fairly cheesy, but we'll take a look at it when we get there. Either way, I don't think we need to take any rests or anything like that at this point. So we're going to put everybody into hiding, and we're going to head out into the doorway here. Okay. So we will move everybody into this room here.
On my way.
Put everybody into hiding and break the group.
I was trying to concentrate.
And as usual, we're going to start things with the Starian here.
do you think it was as well?
Okay, so I don't think we need to use our Luck of the Far Realms here. Alright, so for Astarion, now we'll make our way back here. We're going to dash.
Step quick.
Okay, and now looking at the detection cones, I think we're still doing okay here.
What now?
We can't get to where we really want to. Because of this detection cone here. So I think we're just going, I think we're going to leave this as it is.
Let's turn someone.
We're just going to end Astarion's turn. Let everyone dash toward me. Alright, so for Astarion, we're going to come out here and actually, let's see where the detection cone is here. Okay, so it looks like one is probably causing us a detection cone problem. But let's move out here.
Never wanted the easy path.
With our Paladin.
Time for some bloody work.
Time for a cull.
And now let's see what they look like. Okay, so I think this detection cone here is from Halsin. Let's use it here. Okay, perfect. Actually, not perfect. I wanted one more out of that, but...
Whatever comes, I'm ready.
How unseemly.
And yes, that detection cone is from Halsin.
My pleasure.
So I don't think this is going to bring me out of hiding, but it's a good test. Yeah, it doesn't. I'm afraid if I do this, we're going to end up killing Butcher Vrak. So let's leave Gale over here for now.
I can't even catch my breath.
Okay, that's kind of what I expected was going to happen. So I didn't want to have
On my way.
cloud of daggers here in front of the gate when I'm pretty sure Halsin is going to want to make his way over there and attack these wargs before they get out of the cage. I guess what I could do here is let them out myself. That might be a good plan. Okay, so that will remove the gates and plant it there.
I won't give in.
They will act before Halsin will, so they're going to move out here into this area, and Halsin will be free to attack them, but they'll have taken damage by walking through the cloud of daggers. So, I think this puts us in a good spot.
Go for the throat.
I'm ready. Have to keep going.
Okay, perfect. Let's not do that. Let's go in here
Despite
first.
everything. Fall by my hand.
Let me think. I don't need to.
There's blood in the air.
Now that he's threatened, this will turn into a sneak attack.
Don't linger.
Okay, and why isn't he threatened?
Nothing will stand in my way.
Actually, let's clear the way for Halsin just in case. Okay, now he's threatened. So now sneak attack works. Perfect.
Pardon the viscera. One should cherish all of nature's bounty, but goblin guts are quite far down the list. You aided a bear without knowing if it would savage you. A true friend of nature. Or perhaps a lunatic. Either way, I owe thanks. I am the druid Halsin. Parasites in your head that... You mean you have one of them? Oak Father preserve you, child. You're infected, aren't you? The Mind Flayer's spawn. But something's different. You're aware of the monster inside you. You don't bow to the absolute like the true souls do. How is this possible? Perhaps. But I wouldn't want to place all my faith in blind luck. You weren't speaking lightly when you said you needed help. Let me tell you what I know. I've been studying these parasites for a while now. Ever since I discovered these so-called true souls are infected with them, someone is using very powerful magic to modify these tadpoles. They're using them to exert control over the infected. I'm sorry to say, I can't undo that magic, which means I can't cure you. But that doesn't mean I can't help. I didn't find what I came here for, a way to remove the tadpoles, but I found the next best thing. I found out where they come from. That must be where these enchantments are placed on them. And it's where you'll find your cure. No, this is different. Altered. The magic used is beyond me. It's either not of this world or so ancient as to be lost to even nature's memory. I overheard that the cultists are sending all of their captives to Moonrise Towers. Innocents go in, true souls come out. Given that all of these true souls are infected, it has to be the source for this magic. If you want to find a cure, you must head there and discover how the tadpoles are being manipulated. Gladly, but first I must return to the Grove. As you made short work of the goblins' leaders, there's nothing stopping me. Come join me in your own time. I can see to some matters there, and we can discuss what comes next amidst more bucolic surroundings than here.
Okay, so Halsin shapeshifted and took off, as expected. So we can group everybody up, and be sure to take all of the warg fangs, like I said. The potions of blood, or elixirs of bloodlust, can be very useful.
Something good here, I hope.
There's the prison key, which we'll get to see used here in a second. And I'm encumbered.
I'm ready. Whatever it takes.
Okay. And keep in mind that I do have my Paladin
Let's see
oath
what
back.
we have here.
So I am now an Oath of Vengeance Paladin once again. So keep that in mind as we go through this, that I'm not really, you know, super worried about breaking my oath again.
Worth a try.
But we'll try and RP a little bit here to see if we can keep it any longer or not. I always knew that there were going to be some hard-coded choices in this game that I wasn't necessarily going to agree with when it comes to your oath. Just because you have so much less leeway with it than you do with a human DM. Nope. Nope. Okay. Luckily, no flames around to ignite that. Hey, the Beastmaster's chain is down here, as well as some potions.
Better take that.
And most, and well, actually all of these down here you don't want to take. They're not camp supplies. And eating them will cause you some issues. And here's Wargfang that you don't want to miss. Okay, that used one of the 2 prison keys that you can find in here.
Decaying legs protrude from the hole. A failed escape, it seems. It seems the tunnel collapsed mid-dig and suffocated him. A crooked heart is embroidered on his left shoe. The body comes loose, revealing a tunnel. Perhaps you can escape where he failed.
And you can cast Speak with the Dead on the elf here, and you'll learn about the Crooked Heart.
The corpse regards you, lifelessly.
Taglin, carpenter, father of 2. My son Garland did it. If I ever missed him, could look down and remember him. Heading to Baldur's Gate. Didn't hear Goblin Patrol. Goblins took my friends, cut them up for the wargs, for meat. Digging too quickly, felt tunnel collapsing, kept going, better dead than warg meat.
The spell's power wanes. You can ask no more questions.
Okay, so now we can head out here. I don't think he's got anything on him. Nope. Okay, and we finished up here inside the prison area. So going through these rooms here, we can pick up some scrolls. Don't remember that item. Charming little egg, huh? Alright, now we can head back up to the main encampment. Now we're going to start making our way out of the encampment. Okay, and here we now enter into this first room here. Okay, so the spiders have not been released here. So let's make our way across to the other side. Okay, let me think about how to make this work here. I don't need another potion of animal speaking for this. What is my animal handling? So +0 here.
Now what?
+1.
Cloak and dagger. My
+4
favorite.
with Shadowheart. But the question becomes, can she make it over there or not? Yes, we can.
I must keep going. Unnoticed. Good. I see a way.
So now we just need to time this right. We've got an obstruction here, but I might be able to jump. Can I jump up to here? Maybe not. So I might have to make my way up and around. So I wonder, you know, I've never tried to make it in here this way. I'm gonna be going downward. Might take some damage doing this. But we'll see. Okay, so I can't jump onto there. I can make it to here.
That's curious.
Okay, so I wouldn't take a whole lot of damage. Jumping down to here.
Unseen. Perfect. Off I go.
There's another problem here, though.
Let's see.
And that's the sleight of hand check down here. Oh no, it's not sleight of hand. I just need to get in there without being seen. Which isn't a problem.
Perfectly hidden.
Okay, and then... looking to see if there's a softer landing spot than that. I don't think that there is.
On I go then. I'll go this way.
Okay, now I'm going to make my way over here, and before I go into the cave exit, I'm going to make sure that everyone else is positioned where I want them to be for this. Actually, I think this actually should be alright, because I think how I'm going to work this is I'm going to get Shadowheart into combat here early on in this. She won't have the best initiative roll here. Actually, you know, that's an interesting point. I wonder what happens if I actually initiate this combat with the Starian and then bring the spiders into it afterward, instead of the reverse of that. Let's try that instead. Let's try and initiate all of this combat out here with the Starian. And then we'll try and bring the spiders in after we've done that. So I want him to be... Okay, there we go. Good. And he rolled first. So now... let's go in here with Shadowheart.
To attack, but she hesitates, tapping her claws as if trying to communicate. The other spider echoes her. The spider relaxes slightly, but you feel her hunger and fear beneath the surface. She looks to the closed door, drooling.
Okay. So now I'm going to put her back into hiding here. And I think these detection cones are just from the spiders. I don't think it's from the goblins. Okay, yep, good.
Onward then. Unseen as I was taught. Have to keep low.
And now the spiders have entered into combat. Okay, good. So that worked out too.
Bit of caution never hurt. These boots have seen everything.
So it works both ways, which is good for us. So now I can move over this way and I can let my Paladin be a Paladin over here on these two. And now, question is, no, it's not. I need, actually, I won't be able to bring Shadowheart up out of there yet. Was hoping to get Gale up top. Oh, Astarion hasn't gone yet.
Hungry for the slaughter.
Yes, this is gonna work.
This will do nicely.
Hopefully, it's going to work. Let's hide so I can get my sneak attack here. Okay, and now, nope, the detection cones are still overlapping the ladder. I wonder whose detection cone that is, though. It can't be any of these. And this one's too far back. Let's try and take Gale out here and move him up top using that ladder. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. He's well protected by everybody over here, but
Right away.
let's see if this detection cone is an enemy detection cone or a friendly one. Okay, so it was an enemy one, but that's alright. He'll be able to move up top here immediately after this. I'm not too worried about it. Okay, so for me, obviously going to get down here right into the thick of things.
On my way.
Now we might as well get Hex up.
Indeed.
Okay, I want to try and remove the Hex here from the Warlock. And he was successful on keeping it. Oh no, he broke it. He succeeded on 2, failed on the 3rd.
Let's go.
I should be able to get a sneak attack on Azak here. Yep.
At the ready.
What does witness do? Ah, okay. Let's lay a divine smite on Spike here. Trying to save my spell economy a little bit for what's outside as well. If you thought Sacred Flame was going to damage a Paladin? Come on. Okay, now the spiders are getting into it. So let's see if the detection cones have cleared up any. Still looks like these two up here are causing some issues with down below.
No time to dally.
Maybe I can get around that corner, but I think I'm probably gonna have to pass a hide check. Yep. No worries though. So now here, remember my strength is now a lot lower, so I doubt I can jump up there. I can't.
That's be on my way.
I can't do it there. Too far away for these two, so. Ooh. Ow. Rolled a crit on the damage. Okay. It's like, wow, that was a lot of damage for Firebolt cantrip, even though it is leveled up. Okay, so he can reach me. I wasn't expecting he'd be close enough. So nobody is within reach here, probably. We'll see. Maybe I can get a ranged attack from here. Okay, so I probably can reach here. Yes, 55%, 70%.
Still some punishment.
All right, everybody's saving against Sacred Flame.
Come on, can't stay idle. No time for mercy.
So it already applied the necrotic damage.
I need to find a way forward.
A tale for the ages.
Easy peasy.
I'm ready. I'd better take a peek.
So we'll just go around, do a little searching here, and
No time for dallying.
clear out. The Torturer's Key. We'll be able to go unlock the Goblin Prisoner over here. Yeah, well, that one worked out well, Jerry. It's just a little complicated getting getting her into position with the to get down to the spiders.
Might be useful. I'd better do the talking.
No, no! Please! Oh, don't hurt me! You are? I need to get out of here. Yes. It should be here somewhere. They said there was a hidden passage underneath this temple. The place was supposed to be abandoned when we arrived. I'm not sure. All I know is there's a passageway to the Night Song. Brian had instructions, but the goblins got him. They said they'd eat him. Please, please. These shackles. I don't want to die. Thank you. Thank you so much.
The lock clicks and opens.
Thank you. I better go before they catch us. I should be able to make it to the grove on my own. They need to know they're in danger. I don't know. The boss didn't say. He just said some wizard called Larian would reward us if we found it. That's all. The grove. To the east. They wanted to know where we came from. They'll kill everyone. Please. I need to warn them.
Okay, Liam's going to take off and he'll disappear. And be sure to pick up the bullywug trumpet here. And as we've explained before, you can jump across here. skeleton here that you could search for some items, and that's about it. Really just an escape route for Liam to utilize when he leaves.
Is that blood? No, never mind. Wonder if the gods are watching me.
Okay, so while we're here, we're going to clear out. Okay, I do still have one left. We're gonna take it.
Oh, lovely little pick-me-up.
Let's see.
We're gonna go clear out the area underneath here. Okay, we're gonna toggle the group and get
To survive this, need to tread softly.
Shadowheart and Gale back a little bit.
Keep your blade close.
Seems like they were in danger of being detected there. And as usual, we'll start this with Astarion once she turns around.
Stepping softly.
Okay, attack the hinge here.
Set for
Okay, and that's going to kick things off. She should be turned to face towards me.
Should have worn better boots.
So that should mean that her detection cones are nowhere near this passage here,
Have to keep going.
which is exactly what you want. I'm going to apply Divine Smite here.
Need to keep focused. Best step softly.
I think we'll actually go ahead with Astarion here. Now that she's threatened, I can get my sneak attack in anytime I want.
The mission has to come first.
Now she's got 21 hit points left. So let's try her firebolt now that it's leveled up to 2d10. Okay, good. Got some good damage there. And then Gale, the same thing.
With ease.
And hopefully this way the only spell we used was one Divine Smite. Perfect.
No one back home will ever believe this.
Can't afford to stay idle.
Which way to the nearest library?
There is work to do.
And we'll wait for this fire surface to dissipate a little bit, so we won't group everybody up yet.
Have to keep pushing.
There better be a soft bedroll in my near future.
What's that?
Okay, pouch here on the ground.
might you be hiding?
The Amulet of Misty Step. Very, very valuable item to have. The Arcane Cultivation recipe is here on the desk.
I'll grab that.
Okay, some more potions here, and we will equal out our potions. Oh, thanks, Jose. No worries. I certainly appreciate you catching up on the videos. Alright, so let's group everybody up. Let's first go into our inventories and sort these out.
Monster's not around, so it might as well.
I wonder what the next move is.
Watch your back.
Okay, and then we will take a look. Do some quick inventory cleanup. Okay, and then
Lost in thought.
more here. And then with Shadowheart, we picked up the Amulet of Misty Step. Now, we've talked about this previously. It's basically an amulet that once per long rest allows you to utilize Misty Step. And that is a great ability to have for almost everybody that's going to be needing to move around the battlefield. So for Gale,
Yes.
Gale already has the Misty Step spell, so it can be useful. You wouldn't have to use a spell to cast it for him, so don't discount that. For Shadowheart, she's wearing the Ever-Seeing Eye for now. I think it's probably better because the Moondrop Pendant, I think, is probably better here. And then with Guidance, since we have Shadowheart in the party, that makes this less important for him to have. We'll keep it on him just so he can utilize it in the future, possibly. The Beastmaster's Chain we picked up, that allows you to cast Animal Friendship, again, once per long rest. So can be very useful. She has a high animal handling skill anyway, but this would just help that out more by giving her advantage on those checks if she's wearing it. I think that's it for now. Okay. I'm going to take a more in-depth look at everybody's equipment options and choices off stream.
I'll give it a shot.
Okay, so now that we've cleared this out, we can head out toward the front. We've got another encounter up front here inside this area that we want to deal with.
Can't risk being in open view. best be on my way.
And here you can see it. So if you come in from the back here, from this way, instead of coming in the front and unexpectedly running into this, like I did on the Bard live stream, you can approach this quite a bit easier, especially if Gale has a level 2 spell slot left. So, which he does. So I'm going to toggle the group. I'm going to move Gale down here to the bottom.
Quiet. Interesting.
Going to again kick things off with Astarion.
Nice and quiet now.
Not too worried about where my Paladin is. During all of this, because I'm going to bring him into combat as soon as possible.
Secrecy above all. Need to
Shadowheart
preserve
can
it.
just move here behind this column.
What is it?
And we'll again start this off with Astarion as usual. I want to keep him back from the doors a little ways, so that whoever's up here doesn't have line of sight on him very easily. They're going to have to move. So we're going to try and execute this sneak attack from as far back as we can and still execute it. Okay. Alright, so in fact, let's just not execute a sneak attack. Let's just take a regular attack and get into combat. I may actually not even have to do it, but did that hit? Oh, it hit the doors. Okay.
Like a wraith. Quietly.
Let's see if this is a broken detection cone or if there's actually one there. There's not one there, so... Okay, so he rolled horribly. Okay, not too much damage. And now we are going to bring him back. Actually, let's see if we can get off an attack here before we do it.
Be quick.
And we're going to bring him all the way back here.
I'd rather stand
Now,
tall.
Gale is going to move up. Now I'm going to put him into turn-based mode.
Let's go.
Can't afford any mistakes.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Shall we dance?
Okay, so now my Paladin will be on cleanup duty here.
Another day, another fight.
Okay, so they can both see me there, so...
Outmaneuver them.
Sometimes the only way out is through. Time to press ahead.
Did it run out just before they got there? Alright.
Let's get this over with.
Oh, they came out of turn-based mode when I switched off. That's why. I should have entered Gale into combat to keep turn-based mode from depleting.
Dance macabre.
Can't slow down.
I'm ready.
Well, so much for peace.
Okay. 80%. Thank you.
No one stopped me yet.
There is work to do. Just check for anything useful.
I really don't like that.
I'll take this way.
Okay, and then there is... Oh, still got two who didn't enter into combat. So the first thing that we'll do is get Astarion to kill this one, so the detection cone disappears. Okay, oh. Stealthed anyway, nice.
Move unseen.
Now that the detection cone's gone, I'll have Astarion move over to the other side and take care of this one. Ah, they're gonna come investigate. That's fine too. Easy enough.
What's in here?
Now, you do not want to go out that door. Well, I mean, you're certainly free to play your game however you would like. However, you really don't want to go out that door. We spent an awful lot of time prepping.
Quick step.
For coming out
Let's get on with it.
the broken wall. So we want to go explore that and see how well this is going to work.
Need to keep going.
Let's move. What path lies before me?
So to do that, we're going to make our way back in here and climb this ladder. And make our way out of the collapse corridor. Now we want to be in hiding when we do this, just to be on the safe side. Okay, so we cleared out the top area previously. We have put barrels and boxes and all of that sort of stuff on top of the transport holes down below. So if we got all of them, if we found all of them and covered them all up, then the only way that they have to be able to reach us is to climb here and move around this way. So to take the long way to get to us. And they would be funneled into one little spot along here. So the ogre is not going to be able to climb these no matter what, so he's going to stay down here. It's just the goblins and the hobgoblin and that sort of stuff that are still up here. So we will quickly find out if we found them all. We're going to toggle the group and we're going to bring Astarion out here. Actually, we're going to go this way. That's not Astarion.
I'm just waiting. Stay low.
Does this count as adventuring? Time to press ahead.
They won't see me coming.
And we're going to attack Guard Gergen here. Okay. So we rolled highest. The enemy is surprised. That's, no shock here. So we're going to hide again.
Now they see me.
Get another sneak attack here. Ooh. Big crit there. Wonder why that was a crit. That's interesting. And now I'm going to move him back away from the edge so he's out of line of sight.
Let's move.
And we will see what all of them do.
We'll do it my way.
Okay, so it no longer matters. I was wondering if that had changed or not. Yeah, it no longer matters whether or not you've covered them up. I had heard on the forums that was the case. But I wasn't sure. So, this is why I kept everybody else back here. Is so that I would have the opportunity to...
What path lies before me?
to get up here and guard this area.
Can't afford to stay idle. Down with you.
Let's have some carnage.
Don't know if I'll be able to hit him from here or not.
They won't know what bit them.
I can. And that ends that.
Yes, here.
Okay, so I have an opportunity attack. Okay, so Brawler Rot's going to be the next one to go. So let's go
Feel their anguish.
fight him, and then let's just get a main hand attack here. Let's see where everybody's at. So we do have one here. Gale should be able to get an attack off from over here. Unless this beam's gonna block his shot. Okay, so the Devout is gonna make its way up here next. So I think I do want to stay right there.
Can you feel death's cold grip?
Astarian's turn is done. I think I'm gonna let them come to me. Good, he's gonna dash. Okay, so he's not... Is he gonna move down and come back up? Yes, he is. Okay, so he actually didn't make it up here this turn. Don't know if I'll be able to hit him from down there, but we'll see.
With finesse.
Unleash me.
Okay, so there are going to be some more here. Let's put Gale into hiding. Okay, that's fine.
If this is worth
We're gonna
the cost.
leave my Paladin there for when
Ready.
the Devout comes up.
Have to keep going.
There it goes. Should be threatened. It is, so I can get a sneak attack with Astarian. Assuming I'm within range. Okay. So now the Bugbear is here.
Time to move.
Swords meet sorcery.
I think I'm going to bring Booyog Piddle into the fight here. Unless I kill him outright with that. Okay, so he's got 1 hit point left, 2.
No choice but to keep going.
I'm gonna move my Paladin away from
Very well.
the transport. I don't think the Bugbear can actually use those. Anyway. I think he's too big
Can't afford to let up.
to use them.
Got to press on.
There's that target outside of normal range thing again.
Recite their demise.
Gale should be able to end this here. Okay.
Never a dull moment. These boots have seen everything.
Let's finish this.
Wow, 2d10 and I rolled a 2. So I rolled a 1 and a 1. Yeah, he's not able to get to me up here.
Don't linger. The subtle approach.
Alright. So I have 2 left down here. I have the brother and sister. And I think everything is now... Nope, there's still a couple over here to deal with.
Time to press ahead.
There better be a soft bedrock in my near future.
Light on my feet. More for me.
Okay. So, I guess I can kill these two. From an RP perspective, would I? Well, they are marked as hostile right now, so I don't think it matters. Because remember, these are the brother and sister of Edwin, who we found on the road. They were just following their brother. So seems kind of harsh to kill them. Hey Starground, welcome to the stream. Sorry, I was paying attention to the fights as I was going there. Yeah, the difficulty's balanced. I do all of my live streams on balanced because I don't do any save scumming in my playthroughs. I don't save and reload anything. Whatever happens, happens, and there's no need for to make this, 3 times as difficult as I need it to be when I'm not save scumming anything. So I think I will.
Time for a little death.
Take them out. So let's move Astarion up here. Okay, they're surprised. Okay, well, Astarion just said, y'all are dead.
With bated breath.
And that was the end of that.
Should mind my step.
So we'll move everybody down to the bottom and move to the other side over here and clear out the rest of the camp real quick. And yeah, Jerry, that's how Astarion rolls. He attacks from the shadows and just one hits whoever he can.
Oh, puke stink.
Okay.
How much farther can I go?
So I think that is it. You can pick up some camp supplies here.
Let's have a look. Should mind my step. Never wanted the easy path.
So now we'll make our way out toward the front here. Let's check our carry weight real quick. So we'll have Astarion
How delicious.
loot some of these.
A quick rummage.
Okay, oh, there's some hide armor +2 here. Who's that on? Oh, Grat the Trader. Yeah, that's correct. It's like, why does he have that? Yes, Grat the Trader always has one of his items on him when you kill him. Let's not forget to loot Gurgen up here. Okay, nothing there. Okay, and there are some
Don't mind
camp
if I do.
supplies up here. And the rest of this you can see is dwarf ribs and dwarf legs and stuff, and that's why there was the dwarf poem over here that Liam talked about. This is Brian, or the remains of Brian here, who was on the search for the Night Song as well. So that's what the poem down here was about. It was Brian's poem that tells you how to get into the area underneath the temple there to move on your way through the Underdark to find the Night Song. Okay, so Astarion's over encumbered. Well, he's encumbered. So let's get rid of all of these camp supplies. And you can see how much camp supplies weighed. That was like almost 20 pounds worth of camp supplies. Okay, you can go over here and loot all of these items that are out in front of Trader Grat's outpost, or trading post here. But what I'm more interested in is the alchemy supplies. Okay, so sitting out here, you have Crusher. Now, Crusher, you do not want to push him off into the chasm. Here, you can, just like we did a little bit ago, but I want to be able to loot Crusher.
A little chicanery. Silent as the grave.
So I'm going to move around behind him. And over to the far side of him. And get a sneak attack from here. Okay. So he's surprised, so I can go into hiding. I can get another one. And again. Astarion just doing his thing. And that's because Crusher's Ring is here. Crusher's Ring is just a straight 3-meter increase to movement speed. So it's a benefit to anyone, basically. But I'm going to put it on my Paladin just so that they can move more while they're trying to get into that Divine Smite range.
Another step forward.
Now we're going to continue on out towards the front, and we're going to have to clear out this area on this side. So once we get over here, and I guess we can do this.
The corpse regards you lifelessly.
Crusher, strongest of our tribe.
Strongest, huh? Tell that to Astarion.
Should be, boss, but draw Ragslin, hobgoblin. Towering magic. They'll pay. Absolute will make them pay. Absolute blesses, gives power, makes true souls.
The spell's power wanes. You can ask no more questions.
Okay, so at the very least we want to put on the Warped Headband of Intellect again, even if we leave Shadowheart in that
No time to rest.
form.
With haste.
Okay, once you get up here, we're going to go into hiding again. And once more, we're going to rely on Astarion.
Really? Now? Nice and easy.
Okay, there are 2 goblins here. And then there's a third that is patrolling around here. And you're also going to get the warg here, moving back and forth, but that's as far as their detection cone extends, is right around in here. Okay. So, and yeah, Tracker Rindle up here is also going to have a detection cone a little bit of this way, but you can maneuver yourself over this way and never have to worry about them. It's really these 2 and the third one that patrols up and down here that cause you the most issue. You want to try and, yep, there's the third one right there. And you have to be careful with where their detection cones are. I'm going to try and sneak him around the back over here.
We're gonna miss out on all the drinking. Shut it. We got a job to do.
Okay, perfect.
priestess.
Why the hell not? It's a priestess gun! Bless it,
On tippy toes.
Wargs is
Not a sound.
stupid.
Okay, so
Maybe I should stay crouched
now
forever.
with them facing that way, and Astoria managed to take two of them out with sneak attacks. So now with this one facing the wrong way, I can just walk up behind the sharp eye and paladin them to death.
Where's the rest of the lads at? Surely getting thrown in their ranks.
I don't think I need to use Divine Smite here. So we'll move everybody else up
What comes now?
toward this same side.
Onward.
Bad for one's back, there's the path less traveled.
Okay.
Looking ahead. Don't want to draw any attention.
Very, very quiet.
Don't want to think about where my eyes
And now as far as this goes, I want to move... Actually, I want to leave my paladin back here. Everybody else, I want to move over here.
I need to rest. The sunset can't come quickly enough.
Charmed, I'm sure. The cowards
That was dangerous with Gale not being in hiding.
onward.
Okay, and I don't want to go too far. Remember, I found one of the blast mines, but I think there's another one up here. So I don't want to go too far that direction.
What's next, I wonder?
But I do want to get them kind of
Tread carefully.
around the corner here.
Now, they won't see me coming.
We got a job to do. They can at least send some of that booze.
Okay, and as usual, we're going to kick this off with Astarion
Shut up and
from
keep
up here.
your eyes peeled.
Wargs is stupid.
Surprised you
It
spotted
doesn't
me.
look like any of them turned to face me. They did. Well, Claw did. Yes, Claw did.
I can't waste any more time. Breathe deep and move.
Let's have some fun.
So, I think if we move back just a little bit,
Just like old times.
we can go into hiding. Okay, actually, I think I'm going to... I didn't want to do this, but... Let's move up here a little bit and see where these detection cones are, because there's something I want to consider here. Oh, it's not going to matter. Yeah. It's not going to matter, because they're all the goblins inside are dead, so it doesn't matter if they hit the war drum and call for reinforcements or not.
Can you feel death's cold grip?
They can pound on it all day long, and nobody's going to come to their rescue. Wow. Astarion is just critting all day long. Wow. Okay, so I'm going to move him down out of line of sight. And they're all going to dash toward me. Yep. Perfect. Boy, that would be a great lineup for lightning bolt right there, wouldn't it? That would be awesome.
Let's not get caught off guard.
So for
Taking my time in the shadows.
my paladin here, remember what happens with that warg
The
companion
gods are watching me.
when you kill the person that summoned it. Let's see if I can make my way in here and make it up here behind him or not. I think I can. Now he's going to be way out of position here. But remember, so I am let's okay. Now, he's way on the other side of the world from this fight, right? However, I did give him, or he does have Misty Step. Now, that would give up my last Divine Smite here. So I think I'm just going to make my way back here instead. He's got 10 meters of movement speed.
A rough tempest I will raise.
Got to focus.
So let's see here. Okay, that was a good use of her spell. Okay, and then I definitely want her back with her shield equipped.
Witching hour.
Actually, I can probably...
Nothing important is ever easy.
Now that he's threatened, I should be able to get a sneak attack here. Oh, come on. My regular attack can hit. So it looks like it's somewhere over here. But here it's all path interrupted.
Let's move.
You idiot!
Easy. And I think that's probably good for now. Actually, I can dash and make my way. It doesn't matter. I will leave them up there because they're both going to stop and probably attack the spiritual weapon. And then if I get to next turn, then I'll have high ground here.
Need to stay focused. On the move. Down with you.
Let's actually go to my spiritual weapon first because I should be able to cleave or lacerate here. And actually, I wonder why he doesn't have cleave instead. Did I select the wrong one?
Gone with the weave.
Oh, rolling really high on their firebolt cantrips.
Time to push my luck again.
Still going to come up a little bit short, but I should have an Elder's Blast available to me. That ends that.
No traps, please. Keep your distance, darling. Certainly.
Oh, these were just regular barrels here. Yeah, just regular wooden barrels you can search. And now that there are no goblins around anymore, you can pick up all these camp supplies. And you can search this chest up here. Another potion of animal speaking, that's good.
This way.
Hey Star, welcome to the stream. Okay. So Astarian is now full up.
Wits and blades, always sharp. Worth a rummage? Might find something useful.
All right.
This way.
So that clears out the Goblin Camp. So if we take a look at our map here, the Goblin Camp is completely opened up. We had taken care of the hag previously at the tea house. The quest marker here is just for the quests that lead through the Underdark, because again, we showed you the entrance to the Underdark from the tea house that you can find. So we've opened up and explored Joaquin's Rest. The only thing we have not done is moved into the mountain pass here, and we won't do that until we bring Lae'zel back into the group. So what we're going to do now is head back to the Emerald Grove.
Let's get going.
We're going to head in here, sell off our supplies. And then we're going to have a party. We might have something else to do in here, but we'll look here in a second. So as you can see, the tieflings have all moved up front.
Reported. The goblins' leadership has been decimated. We might escape this place yet. I took a collection from all of us. It isn't much, but you've earned it. It's not enough, but it's all we have.
Halsin will likely want to thank you too, mind. He returned just a while ago. I believe he's catching up with Korga. As for us...
No armies at our heels. Amazing. We can finally leave. But perhaps we need not speak of farewells. We'll join your camp tonight to celebrate if you'll have us.
Okay, so we did pick up this patched together sack, which has Wapira's crown in it, and some other items. Now, Wapira's crown is one of those cleric-based type of items, or healer-based type of items, in that whenever you heal somebody, you gain 1d6 hit points. So it's one of those things for Shadowheart that would give her the ability to heal herself while she heals others. And then the warped headband of intellect can go to Astarion. No reason not to have him up his intelligence, and besides, he's such a diva. He loves that circlet type look, I'm sure. But I'll take a deeper dive into everybody's setups and that sort of stuff off stream. So all the tieflings have made their way up here, and you can have conversations with all of them.
For anything.
And let's just clear out our quest journal here. So this is a hilarious description. Priestess Gut might have been able to help us, but being a goblin proved to be fatal for her. So we did rescue Halsin. We're going to go talk to him here in a second. So Zoru's left the grove. We have to find another league to the creche, and we will. We're going to bring Lae'zel into the party before we tackle the Githyanki patrol, and that's going to expand on this. So this is the artifact that we learned more about when we tried to exit into the mountain pass, and it saved us from the effects. So we did investigate Kaga, and that's now complete. So we did rescue Halsin, so this is going to continue after we talk to him. We did free Volo. He's going to meet us back at the camp, and we'll be able to undergo a rather gruesome surgery here in a little bit. So the temple was underneath underneath the Goblin Camp, and that's where we were for the night song, so that's going to continue on. We learned about the Grand Duke being Will's father inside of Joaquin's Rest, and that's going to continue on as we move forward through this. And this is the same as the Githyanki Kresh quest up here. So everything is cleaned out in our quest lines for now. So we're going to go down and talk to Aaron and Damon and sell off as much of our stuff as we can here.
So it's true.
And CK, yeah, I would actually really enjoy that type of setup.
Thank you.
It is not, as Einstein once said, nothing is impossible. Some things are just highly improbable, and that is one of them. Larian's never going to allow it to open up to do stuff like that, but it would be extraordinarily cool if you were able to take this engine and have some sort of creator kit or something that would allow you to make custom dungeons like you can in real life with tabletop. It'd be awesome.
As am I. And I'm sure those poor refugees would quite agree. Of course.
Okay, so we're gonna get rid of our wares first, if we can. Okay, we can. So what do we have here? Chainmail +1, right? I wish I could remember which dye this is. Is this red dye? I think it is. Or muddy red dye, one of the two. Okay. So I don't think there's anything else we need. The Scale Mail +1 is the best medium armor that I'm going to be able to get here. So I guess I could trade disadvantage on stealth checks for a +1 bonus to dex saving throws and checks by swapping out the Scale Mail +1 for the Chain Shirt +2. For her, it's still the same. And this would give us more money to be able to spend here. Okay. And we might as well buy one of these to be able to dye that later on. And let's just start selling off items. Okay, so let's go through some more high weight items here. Okay. So we'll take one last look through here and make sure that there's nothing that we want to take with us into the next act. I do want to get rid of these additional ones from Minthara. I don't care if we get anything for it. So now let's go down and talk to Damon. Okay, I think that is it. Yes.
May you keep balance.
So let's take a look at didn't I buy a
Excellent choice.
thought I bought a red dye.
Next.
I did. Okay. Okay, well, that didn't really turn it red. Okay.
What now?
Okay, so now let's go down
Lost on my
to
mind and,
Damon and
well,
talk to him.
In it. I need to find a way forward.
Hells take me. What I wouldn't do for best tools.
Seems like a good moment to talk. What's inside?
No, I don't want you stealing from him. I want you to talk to him.
You saved us. I wasn't sure we'd make it through. I wish I had better, but this is all I have.
Okay. Now, we took some time to get his attitude up a little bit earlier because we're going to meet Damon again a little bit later on. So let's continue doing that. No, Siki, I can explain to you here in just a second what the thought was. Hold on just a second as I go through some of the stuff. Actually, I wanted to barter those and not trade them. So okay. So now let's see if there's anything that we want from him. So he's got an armor class of 12, but he's got +1 to stealth checks and advantage. So the padded armor +2 would be better. But he would lose the bonus to stealth checks and the advantage on Constitution saving throws. Besides, this looks much cooler. I'll sacrifice the 1 armor class just to look cool. How's that? Okay, so where are we with rowables here? So there's plenty of grease bottles. So we can sell these. Okay.
May Temora's luck twist your way.
Actually, no, there was one more thing that I needed to sell, and that was...
Who do I pray to for a real forge? I wish I had better, but this is all I have.
The hide armor +2 that we picked up. Yes, here. And sell that off.
May Temora's luck twist your way.
Okay, and quickly, CK, the purpose behind the Paladin Warlock split is because I'm building the Baldur's Gate 3 equivalent of a Hexblade Paladin. The Hexblade Paladin in tabletop is one of the more meta setups for tabletop. It relies on a couple of expanded rule sets, specifically Xanathar's Guide to Everything and Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, to have expanded races and expanded warlock subclasses and that sort of stuff. So the goal here when you build a Hexblade Paladin is to take 2 levels of Paladin just to get you your Divine Smite, and then to focus on Warlock up through level 5, and then taking the Warlock subclass at level 3 to get Pact to the Blade. So now I have my weapons no longer using my strength stat. They use my charisma stat for 2 hit and 2 damage. Take that up to level 5 Warlock when you get the Warlock's extra attack, and then change back over to Paladin and get up to 5 levels of Paladin, so now you have the Paladin extra attack, and now you have 2 sets of extra attacks on one character, which normally don't stack with each other, but with those 2 they do. And then those last 2 levels, you can decide whatever you want to do with them. You could move into something like Fighter to gain maneuvers from a Battle Master, or you could deal with upping Paladin to 7 to make sure your more auras are available. You can do a lot of things with it at that point, with those last 2 levels, but that's the goal here, is to get me a Hexblade Paladin build as we go through this. So I think there's also... Did we do this? I don't think we did. We did not, because the back is not opened up here. So
trust no one.
I don't think it matters whether I'm hidden, because there's nobody else down here right now, and she's gone. But it's Astarian. Astarian doesn't fail lockpicking. Yeah, Larian did not implement Tasha's Cauldron and Xanathar's Guide into here fully, but they did take some aspects of it. And talking to tabletop players, they realized how kind of meta the Hexblades are, so they did their best to implement a lot of the different aspects that Hexblades have. So that's kind of the build that we're going for, and it seems like it's
light on my feet.
Been recognized by the playing community, because it is a combination of Paladin and Warlock, as is the most played combination amongst the player base right now. So no, it's meant to, that's why I chose my feats to be dueling. So I'm going to be sword and board. So I'll be using a shield to help tank help tank attacks, and then using my warlock spell slots for my divine smite, my paladin spell slots for buffing of myself, possibly also for disabling spells like Tasha's or something like that, but for things like heroism and that sort of stuff on myself. And then as we move forward, exploring changing out Shadowheart or respecking Shadowheart to be a bard combination, so that I can have the bard ability to gain another short rest. So then I would be able to get my divine smites back whenever I short rest by refreshing my warlock spell slots. That's kind of the goal behind what a hexblade is. So here, there's nothing that we really need to do with the tieflings that are out here. I think we've sold off as much as we, can right this second. So we're going to talk to Zevlor.
We're ready to head to your camp.
Oh, actually, I'm not. I need to go deal with Kaga and Halsin. Almost forgot the main druid reward. That's y'all's job in chat to remind me about that. Remind me all the things I'm forgetting.
Beg Sylvanas, not me. You took it upon yourself to undertake the Rite of Thorns. I ought to exile you from this place. Forever. Instead, I shall listen to the explanation that you owe me.
An error, most grave master. I beg your grace.
Grace is bestowed by nature, not me. You will stay as a novice anew. You have forgotten the ways of the druids, the natural order of things. It is up to you to prove the lessons have been learned once more.
So as you say. And so it is done, master.
She shows great insolence. But time will humble her. And the Grove still needs her. You will soon see why. But enough of that for now. I owe you my thanks. The Grove stands. Nature prevails. And again, I am in your debt. Speak to Wrath. He will reward you for your efforts. Tomorrow morning, we shall discuss what is to come.
Okay, so updated our journal there. So rescue the druid Halsin. We need to talk to Wrath to finish this up. And Wrath is down inside the Enclave here.
You done it. You brought Halsin back. Thank you. No, thanks is not enough. May Sylvanas bless you for all your days. I cannot imagine taking on a camp full of goblins was a simple task. As am I. The Grove will be whole again. And I promised you a reward, didn't I? Let me show you on your map where you can find the cache. Take this rune. You'll need it. Place it among the pedestals inside our library. When the wolf glows brightest, everything in the vault below will be yours.
Okay, so that updated our quests and completed, well, it completed it. The quest line for rescuing Druid Halsin.
Would that I'd realized it.
So now we're going to make our way into the library here. And you can talk to the bird that's now healed. It gets exhausted every once in a while, but it is healed. You can talk to Nettie as well. And you see there's an empty socket. This opens up the combine menu, and we got a rune of the wolf. And now that it's placed, you need to activate all 4 of the pedestals. Now, while you're up here, if you haven't already, you can search the rest of this area. Pick up the Bollywood trumpets that are in here. These were marked as steel previously, but be sure you pick them up. Bollywood trumpets are valuable alchemy supplies. Okay, and now you get down here into the vault. So there's a book here. You can read it. It talks about all the different secret societies like the Harpers, the Shadow Druids, all of that sort of stuff. So we got another Wyvern Toxin, which is great. Some potions of animal speaking that we picked up, which are also really nice to have. And then you pick up the Robe of Summer. And there's a note here basically saying that the land is being overrun and that the druids can't stop it. And then laying here is Sorrow.
Beautiful.
Now, Sorrow is, just like you said, it is a beautiful item. It's a glaive, which means it's got extra reach, which can be very nice if you use a feat to go into something like Polar Master or something like that. It is two-handed only, so you can't use it. It's not versatile. You can't use it with a shield or anything like that. And it is a +1 weapon. However, it comes with Sorrowful Lash. So Sorrowful Lash is like Thorn Whip. It's exactly like the spell Thorn Whip. So with your bonus action, you can use this Sorrowful Lash to pull a creature 3 meters closer to you. If it's a huge creature, then you can't, like an ogre. You can't pull that towards you. But any creature that's less than that, you can pull towards you. That can be extraordinarily useful for, especially if you are the main tank type character, to be able to get characters that may be attacking another party member and drag them toward you and drag them away from that character so that that character can escape away without having to use or invoke an attack of opportunity against it or something like that. So it can be very useful. It's situational at best. So we are going to end up not using it as much. So And we are going to change this back out to the Sparky points so we can take advantage of our lightning charges. Okay, so now we'll head back out here up top. We'll go talk to Zevlor and we will take our long rest.
Have to tidy this place.
And have a little party. Very true. Yeah, dragging them either back into AoE spell effects, like Cloud of Daggers and that sort of stuff, or through surface effects, can be situationally very useful as well. Yes, we're going to end our live stream here with a party.
We're ready to head to your camp. Are you? Excellent. Lead the way.
And we're going to have a few things to take care of here in camp. So the first, let's go talk to Volo here.
Aha, there you are. Come now, settle in. I do hope you have partaken of something bracing. This may well take us all night. Why, you're naming, quite obviously. That ballad was but a crude preview, a frame without its crowning jewel. Your nom de guerre. Something iconic, but not too much of a mouthful. We don't want to exclude the common folk, after all. I intend this tale to enrapture all. Grove Keeper? Are you a gardener? We aim to cultivate mystery, not shrubbery. No, your actions in the grove were most heroic. But I'm afraid this is a matter of style, not sentiment. Back to the revelry with you. I'll give the matter some thought in small council.
Oh boy. The funny thing about Volo is that Volo has such a well, I guess not just in the game. Volothamp Gedarm is his full name. He's quite famous in the Forgotten Realms lore of the city of Baldur's Gate. He's neutral good / chaotic good, and he's chaotic good in the way that he really doesn't understand half of the things that he does that creates problems for everybody around him. But he is, like I say, a very famous character in the Forgotten Realms lore, not just in the game here. So it was quite a fun thing to see him brought into the game itself. The interactions with him are classic Volo, right out of the lore, so it's hilarious to see it every time.
Away and have your fun. I have a myth to make.
Okay, so we're going to talk to Alfira as well.
This might be the wine talking, but I'm feeling inspired. Thinking of writing my next song about you. But I need an angle. Any ideas? One raunchy ballad coming up. Your song was coming along. Then things began spinning. Worry not. I shall return to it at first light.
You have no idea how good it feels to see these people smiling. The singing we could probably do without, but even so, thank you.
And yeah, he feels fleshed out because I know Larian realized that they needed to put a lot of thought into him because of how famous he is in the Forgotten Realms lore. It's just like when you meet Elminster, and no spoilers here, but Elminster is an incredibly important figure in Baldur's Gate history, in the Forgotten Realms tabletop lore. So if they're going to include characters like that, they absolutely have to make sure they're getting them right. Or the experienced players are going to recognize it.
You came through for us. That's a change from most adults I know. And that sounds like the wine drowning your wits. Go on, enjoy yourself. I've squirreled away a few extra bottles. When the barrel's tapped out, I'll be there to save the night. For a price, of course.
Of course, makes perfect sense for Mole. And there are various tieflings that you can talk to.
Hope you're enjoying the night, hero. I certainly am. Cheers to many more like this.
That just have single interactions, single sentence interactions with you.
Sherry! That's infernal for cheers. Or possibly turnip.
Patience? Have you no respect for showmanship?
Having performance issues, Roland?
Hush you, and behold! Adoring applause? You're too kind.
Remember when he could barely cast that?
They grow up so fast.
Never have I met such troglodytes. Now, pass the wine.
No spoilers, but you're going to have more interactions with Roland later on.
Think of it. No more caves, no more tents, no more running away. We'll be in a city with roads and markets and homes.
If the owner has any sense, they'll
Okay, so let's start having our conversations with our companions here. And we'll start with Shadowheart. Actually, we can talk to Icaron here first.
Look at them all. Guzzling poison like we've the right to be happy. Perhaps it'll make the evening more tolerable.
Okay, so we'll go talk to Shadowheart here.
Everyone seems to be in high spirits. Strange. You know who I never thought I'd find myself caring for? Exactly right.
Never gave them much thought. Certainly not that bunch in the grove. Yet we came through for them. We saved their lives. Odd. Something like that. I was taught to reject anything that distracted from Shah. But there'll be time for penance later. We should have had wine more often. More warming than the fire.
Okay, and if you ever...
We should have had wine more often. More warming than the fire.
When you get conversations that start out before you're allowed to select anything, always go back and check and make sure there's nothing more to be said. So now we'll talk to Astarion.
You know, I never pictured myself as a hero. Never thought I'd be the one they'd toast for saving so many lives. And now that I'm here... I hate it. This is awful. True. That was fun. Still, I would have liked more for my trouble than a pat on the head and vinegar for wine. I'm just looking for a little more excitement, a little more fun. By the hells. Sex, my dear. A night of passion. Let's wait until things quieten down. Once the others are asleep, we'll find each other. Never listen to your second thoughts. They always spoil the fun. But fine, if you're determined to ruin your evening, I won't stop you.
Sorry, Astarion, but you're getting all the sex you can handle in the Bard playthrough, so I'm sure you're okay.
I have seen the Kithraki tear a screaming Neogi's legs from its belly to fashion into blades, yet they could not match your nerve today. It was enough to drive me to madness. I smell their blood on you still. I smell your sweat. I mean to taste it. Yes. When you lie down for the night, I will come. And I will take what is mine.
Well, it's hard to say no to Lae'zel. Sorry, my cats are all over me here. Okay, sorry. It's getting close to dinner time, so they're getting rather persistent.
Don't let me drag you away. Enjoy yourself. You've earned a night of revelry.
Ah, hells. I was hoping you wouldn't notice I was gone. No. I'm deeply proud of you. A touch less so of myself. In truth, I don't feel in a festive mood, and I didn't want to cast a grey cloud over the night. We've saved the grove, and everyone hails us as heroes. For you, it's as clear as cool water. You have that heroism within you. But Karlach is dead, and gods know how many other of my victims were people like her. I shouldn't be celebrated tonight. That's why I left. I'll be fine. Seeing you has cheered me more than you can know. But off with you. This is your day. Have a dance. Enjoy the music. Some time alone beneath the stars, and I'll be back to my old self. Promise. Still, it's a night to remember. You've made sure of that.
Okay, so I think we've had all of the conversations that we want to have. Looks like Scratch is going around getting his fair share of the pets and attention from everybody. Half-orcs are... The orc communities are... in Faerun are very isolated. They're very isolationist in their views. They don't want to have any contact with the outside world. So very rarely when orcs do venture forth from them, some of them do end up having encounters with, you know, people who are not orcs. And that's why they're so rare, is that one, the orc has to leave their community, their enclave. Their god, Grumsh, is a war god, a god of fury, and is not very well accepted in the rest of Faerun, so they tend to stay to themselves, and then when they do, finding one that has, you know, the open-mindedness, you know, to have an encounter with another race, and then another race that is able to get by their appearance, and you know, have an encounter with them, just tends to make half-orcs even more rare because of it. This is a lot different than, yeah, from like World of Warcraft, where it's, you know, humans and orcs were the two main antagonists, you know, when things first started out in, you know, Warcraft originally. It's not like that in Faerun. The orc race was never intended to be like that. So they are quite rare in everyday society. And there's still a lot of prejudices involved with them in the everyday societies of the Forgotten Realms.
The buzz of celebration quiets to a soothing hum as you approach your bunk. Though you seek repose, you needn't spend the night alone. There is one who yearns for you in the dark. Who will you seek?
So, which way should we go here? Should we continue on with Shadowheart? We did have an evening with Shadowheart earlier. And that led somewhere. Or do we want to head off with Lae'zel for the evening? So, what are your guys' thoughts in chat? Either way, I do have streamer settings turned on. So there won't be any nudity or genitalia being shown on the stream. So either way. All right, well, I guess we'll go with Lae'zel here.
Your heart skips a beat. What treasures might this night bestow?
Gith train relentlessly. We know our bodies inside and out. Let me show you. Close your eyes and submit. I am ready.
You awake in pain. Your back, your hands, even your tongue ache.
It's time to rise. Dawn is upon us. You do look peaked. Very well. Take your moment.
Every breath, every blink proves exhausting. A long day awaits you.
I trust you enjoyed your evening. After all your efforts, it was well deserved. It may be some time before you're afforded another such night. There is much to be done, and I promised I would help you however I could. I'm certain a cure for you can be found at Moonrise Towers, but it's complicated. The journey specifically, it's extremely perilous, though it seems you're well accustomed to navigating danger.
Finally, we're catching up on our puppet master, and the hunt ends at Moonrise Towers.
To get to the towers, you'll need to pass through a terrible place. A cursed place. This curse shrouds everything in shadow. You will not find life, light, or anything natural there. Any who linger are twisted by the curse. They become shadow beings, tormented, dangerous souls. So it seems, though I don't know how. You'll have to choose your approach carefully. You could go overland, along the Risen Road or through the mountains. Easier at first, but you'll run into the Shadow Curse eventually. You could also go under. There is a tunnel somewhere in the ruined Temple of Selûne. It leads to Moonrise Towers through the Underdark. Long ago, a man called Ketheric Thorm built a secret stronghold deep down there, before rallying a whole army of Dark Justiciars, Shah worshippers.
Dark Justiciars. I must see for myself.
Aradin and his lot were looking for a way down there. They were promised riches if they retrieved a relic called the Night Song. But I think there's more. From this stronghold, Ketheric's forces could access both the Temple of Selûne and Moonrise Towers. But he was defeated before he could launch an attack. If you can find this place, I'll wager it will reveal a more direct path to Moonrise Towers. And maybe even bypass the worst of the Shadow Curse. The decision is yours, but I'd favor the Underdark. Even a place like that is the lesser evil compared to the Shadow-cursed lands. Already? If only I'd gone with you instead of Aradin. I would like to join your camp, if you'll allow me. I can offer my skills, my counsel. I've long sought to return to Moonrise Towers. It seems our fates have aligned. I've chosen a successor as first druid, Francesca of the High Forest. A bird's already been dispatched to summon her. Precisely. Who indeed? You do not know, and neither do any of the others. The Grove needs to move beyond the mistakes of the past. What it needs is an unknown quantity. An outsider who can enforce the Oak Father's teachings without bias. This is why I chose Francesca. She will restore simplicity and purity to the grove in my absence. Contrary to how some think of us, we druids can play politics when necessary. Now, we've quite the journey ahead. Best get started.
Okay, so we now have completed Rescue Halsin here. We also learned that the temple on the way to Moonrise Towers is where Dark Justiciars were. Dark Justiciars are the followers of Shar, and since Shadowheart is also a follower of Shar, she obviously wants to go check that out. That's an important part of her quest line. And we have completed the Save the Refugees quest here as well. So now, whoops, and we now have a new quest here for travel to, or an expanded one on it for either travel through the mountain pass or travel through the Underdark. There are two ways to get to Moonrise Towers. In our Bard playthrough, we're heading to the Underdark. And while it's tempting here to be a little different and head through the mountain pass, in this playthrough, there's a specific reason why I want to continue into the Underdark. And that is that the mountain pass leads you to the Githyanki Creche. And the Githyanki Creche has a lot of stuff going on with it. It's obviously Lae'zel's companion quest and the completion of a lot of it. And there's some encounters in there that are unavoidable, and having as much combat power as you possibly can when you go into them is very useful. The Githyanki patrol at the bridge is obviously a gatekeeper type of encounter. It's meant to hold you there until you're strong enough to get past it. We are strong enough to get past that encounter right now. And as such, we can make it into the mountain pass. However, going through the Underdark, gaining the experience and the level that comes from it, is going to make it easier for us to go through the Githyanki Creche later on. So, just like the Bard playthrough, we're going to continue on into the Underdark from here, instead of heading into the mountain pass. And again, that's not because I have to, it's just because I want to play it that way, to make things a little bit easier and more complete for me. But you can do it either way.
It was bad enough having just one of those tadpoles forced upon us. I can scarcely believe you actually inflicted another on yourself.
Quite the understatement, but yes, I have it. And I'll guard it with my life. I was part of a group sent by my cloister. We were to take the artifact from the Githyanki and bring it to Baldur's Gate, no matter the cost. Though it turned out the cost was very steep. I was the only one of the group to survive. I took the artifact and fled, only to be ensnared by mind flayers before I could finish the mission. That's all I know. That's all I need to know.
I already did that, CK. Yeah, I did that before I went into the camp itself.
That's not a luxury open to many people, us included. I have my faith to turn to instead. You should find something of your own. Wouldn't you be in my place? If there's even the slightest chance that Shah worshippers remain within our reach, we should try and find them. Even if they're all long gone, and that seems quite likely from what we know, who knows what they may have left behind for us to use? My people are nothing if not resourceful. As long as I've prayed to Lady Shah, I've wished to serve her as a dark justiciar. There is scarcely a greater way to fully dedicate yourself to Lady Shah, save perhaps if you become the head of her church. To become a dark justiciar is to become the Night Singer's sword arm, her implement with which she will cast down the unbelievers and win the final battle to restore her perfect, endless darkness. It's all I ever wanted. I prayed it was my calling. But Mother forbid me from seeking to prove myself worthy of the rank. She said I was not ready. Not my mother, I should add. The Mother Superior, head of Lady Shah's enclave in Baldur's Gate. Sometimes I wonder if she would ever deem me ready. I owe her everything, and I only wish to serve, yet she can prove inscrutable. I don't know. Perhaps if I succeed in my mission and reach Baldur's Gate, hope has little place amongst Lady Shah's children. It's an illusion, a distraction. But for this, I hope my time will yet come. Very serious of you, but go ahead. Always good when I'm with you. On one hand, they seem useful, but on the other hand, or perhaps tentacle before long, we know where they're coming from and what lies at the end of that path. I never expected Ceramorphosis to be tempting. I think we should resist these powers. There's simply too many unknowns for us to risk it.
Okay, so this is your opportunity to try and persuade Shadowheart to be accepting of the tadpole powers. Okay, it's obviously a higher DC. But I am a pretty charismatic halfling.
Well, perhaps you have a point. Fine. Let's explore these powers then. I just hope we don't come to regret it. Fine. What's on your mind? I suppose some would commend our actions. Goblins would have razed that whole place to nothing if it weren't for us. No excuse to rest on our laurels, though. We've still got our own problems to contend with. Quite splendidly, to give credit where it's due. You and I have shared some good times together, and it seems we have plenty in common.
Okay, so that's all for Shadowheart, I believe.
You know, I've been catching myself smiling more lately. I think that's your fault.
Okay, same conversations.
Darling, I was just thinking about you. Remembering our time together, the things we've shared. And I don't just mean that lovely neck of yours. I'm growing to like the whole package, honestly. And you clearly like me too. So... Come now. Don't be coy. Your body's already given you away. I could feel it as I was getting lost in your neck. Your little shakes of excitement. You enjoyed it, didn't you?
Boy, Historian's just a little horn dog.
And look how well it worked. I've never felt better, all thanks to you. So, let me repay you your noble sacrifice. We could take an evening to ourselves, get away from camp, get some privacy. I know somewhere quiet, somewhere intimate, somewhere we can indulge in each other. Thank goodness we're all such good, trusting friends, then. On my honor, the only thing on my mind is depraved carnal lust. You're no fun at all. Deny your feelings all you like. It doesn't matter to me. I've already tasted you, and that's all the carnal delight I need.
He's persistent.
I hear you did the deed. How was your little romp? You filthy devil! I'm shocked. I thought the two of you would just flop about like dying fish and then call it a night, but no. Shows me. But you're not here to gossip. What can I do for you?
Oh, I love the voice acting for Astarion.
Danger! No good will come of devouring a gay worm, no matter what you might think. Mark my words, this power would be no blessing, but a curse. You might as well ask me to gouge out my eyes for the promise of sight, or slice off my tongue for the promise of taste. Consume all the gate tadpoles you wish. I'm not so craven.
It's an even higher DC for her, and that makes perfect sense based upon her racial feelings about the mind flayers. Coming up short. I'm going to use one more. Okay.
Perhaps you... No, that's absurd. When the tadpole has stretched to every pore and slithered through every vein, what am I to do then? It won't hear my screams. It won't care if I beg. I will be remade in its image. My faith in Vlaakith will guide me, and my own might will sustain me. I have no need of this depraved power. You might be right. The Githyanki have long studied Geich and used what we've learned. The Zaithisk itself was devised from such knowledge. The tadpole is perhaps not just a curse, but a weapon I can twist and mold to my advantage. Very well. I will swallow my disgust and avail myself of the parasite's powers.
Okay, so she was going to always take some convincing. That was always necessary.
Ah, my good fellow. Quite the cozy setup you have here. I'll just make myself comfortable. Thank you so much. I was just settling in and reviewing my latest findings. Mind flayers, cultists, and, of course, your esteemed company. Why, I'm practically an expert. They've tentacles, you know? Quite shocking. The druid Halsin had some kind of mind flare specimen in a jar in his quarters. A replica, no doubt, but truly fascinating to see up close. Here, on the Sword Coast. Impossible. That's quite impossible. You'd have undergone ceramorphosis by now. If what you say were true, you'd be a mind flayer by now. You? Infected by a mind flayer? Ridiculous. Isn't it? Perhaps that's for the best. I'd be irresponsible not to debunk such a strange claim. If I just peer in your eye, I could quickly... Oh, dear sweet gods! If we managed it, we'd have a specimen of incredible rarity on our hands. I'll need to research the particulars, however. Give me a bit of time, and I'll have this little issue sorted.
Okay, so he's going to give you the Blazer of Benevolence here, and this is a bard-specific item. So whenever you use your bardic inspiration or combat inspiration on an ally, you gain 4 temporary hit points. Can be quite useful. It's a rather low armor class, and it's light armor based, so it's obviously not for your College of Valor or College of Swords bards, but can be very, very useful. And you do want to have that conversation with Volo before you leave camp. He needs to have another long rest to be able to complete his designs.
How are you feeling? No errant tentacles? No sudden cravings for a more cerebral diet? Wonderful. Advantages are a more precious commodity than I'd have hoped, given the nature of our predicament. I commend you on your willingness to take such a risk. Now, let's hope your new illithid fuel prowess tipped the balance suitably in our favor. Was there another matter you wish to discuss?
Okay, and last is Will here.
Gone gods. Watching you consume that tadpole was more disgusting than the tadpole itself. Though, I suppose that's not what you wanted to talk about. Not so enchanting as you'd think. The Portiers, the Caldwells, they were the blue bloods hosting the fancy balls and drinking from gold goblets. Father's the son of a blacksmith, born with barely a coin in the coffers. He made a name for himself among the Flaming Fist. Brave as Baldur and stubborn as a deep Rothe. Daring, outspoken, but hardly posh. I spent more time dueling with Father than I did rubbing elbows with lords. Not to say I didn't develop a taste for good wine and the talent for courtly dance. Yes and no. Father taught me the 4 pillars of power. Courage, insight, strategy, justice. He reckoned I'd follow in his footsteps. First as a fist marshal, then as a duke. Vanquish evil, maintain order, save the world. But a duke makes bedfellows with more monsters than he slays. Father called it diplomacy. I called it hypocrisy. In the frontiers, there is no posturing, no diplomacy. I slay monsters, I don't consort with them. Well, not when I can avoid it. I think that unknowable powers come with unknowable consequences. I can't say I'm not curious, but once you take an illithid by the talon, there's no telling how deep into the abyss it might drag you.
Okay, so now we have Will's persuasion here. I've only got one inspiration left here. And he has a rather high DC as well. So we have, it looks like about a 60% chance.
I'm more than a bit wary, I admit. Still, I am the frontier's avowed protector. New dangers require new skills to vanquish them. If the tadpole must be my curse, then let the powers it grants me be the Sword Coast's blessing. I will consume what I must to make it so.
Okay. So we have successfully convinced all of our companions to be able to take the tadpoles if we would like them to. And that opens up options for us to be able to expand our combat capabilities as we go, because we are going to want to rely on those powers as we go. But I think we went a little bit long to finish those conversations, and that gives us a great place to make the cut for today's episode. So, as always, thank you, chat, so much. I always enjoy all the interactions with all of you. I'd like to thank everyone for joining me today. Without your support, none of this would be possible. This is Commander Jorval saying, until next time, fare thee well.